racing at a track like Pocono. What are your thoughts on a track like this?
It's a lot of fun. It keeps it interesting as a driver because you have 3 turns and they're all completely different.
Yeah.
You have turn 1, high bank, a lot of speed, a lot of grip. Tunnel turn is really flat, and it really takes some nerve to go through there as fast as we need to. And then turn 3 is a lot like a Loudon or a Milwaukee, where it's just flat and long, and you really need the truck to handle well through there.
All right. You did a couple Cup starts here last year. Were they part of the tougher experiences you had last year, or maybe some of the easiest?
I actually had a lot of fun in the Cup car. So the Cup car, you're shifting in all 3 corners too. Yeah. So in the trucks, we don't do that, so that takes a little bit of the workload off. But in a Cup car, it was really a lot of fun, especially in practice, getting to learn the place and getting new experiences. So I like going to new tracks and challenging tracks, and so that really pushed that, and it was a lot of fun.
Do you think shifting would make it easier if you could do it in trucks?
Once you're comfortable with it, yes.
Yeah.
I think for a lot of the truck series, limits that because 1, it's more expensive equipment. You have to have nicer transmissions and everything like that. And 2, a lot of these kids here, it's their first time coming here. So when you try to drive into a corner at 200 miles an hour and then worry about grabbing 3rd gear, it's a lot on your plate. So it makes sense why they have a rule against it. So I don't really see a negative in it.
Yeah. Going back to the MWR races you did last year, thinking about that experience for you, what did that do for you? When you look back on that, how do you feel about looking back on those races?
I definitely wish I could have been more well developed when I got the opportunity, but nonetheless, I got a great opportunity there. And for me, it just helped my confidence a lot. You're getting 500-mile races at these tracks, plus more practice and everything. So, coming back to the truck series, I have a little bit more track time than a lot of these guys, or a lot of the rookies do anyway. And I think that helps my confidence. And, we were just sitting up in the lounge talking about even though it's a different car, what I fought in the race in the Cup cars, and what we need to try to focus on getting the truck to do. So I think it does help, and it was a great opportunity.
What did you learn the most?
A lot. I don't know. There's no one thing. Going from basically K&N racing to Cup racing was a huge transition. But through the year, I learned a lot of experience, and it just took my game, I feel, to a whole nother level, and helped my confidence out.
What's the off season like for you? It was such an uncertain winter. What was that mindset like?
It was long, but pretty much every year in my career. Actually, last year was the first time in my career that I actually had a multi-year contract signed, and I was pretty confident I was going to be good. And then MWR shutting down put me right back in the same spot I've been in my whole career, not knowing where I'm going to go at the end of the year. So it was a long off season, and it was stressful, but luckily I've dealt with it enough that I kind of know that hopefully something's going to happen on the other side that's going to be better. And this year it was a long time until I got the opportunity to race, and Tom Deloach and his family gave me the opportunity at Kentucky, and we qualified well and practiced well, and then blew a motor in the race. So it was a little bit disappointing, but now we're back here again. He gave me another great opportunity, and we actually have the same truck we did at Kentucky, so hopefully we're going to be just as fast.
How does that uncertainty change you on the racetrack? Do you race harder? I don't know if you can race harder, but do you?
No, not necessarily. When you do have a full-time ride, you might be able to take risks that you wouldn't take. In my position now, I need to have good performance. So, everything's a calculated risk in your mind when you're on the racetrack, and it's kind of good because you don't get caught up in all the drama of week-to-week racing and having feuds with certain drivers, and you can make it really hard as a driver on someone if you want to. And so not having those feuds with them actually kind of helps me in this situation. So it's a little bit different racing, and two, not racing the truck series, I haven't raced with a lot of these drivers, and it's hard to know who to trust and how you can race each person. So.
Are you out to really gain a lot of respect out here? Because you haven't been out in the truck series for a while. So are you kind of out to show everybody that you can race around people and be a good driver?
Yeah, we're out here to win. So whatever it takes to win, we're going to do it.
Yeah. You said watching races over the off season was so hard for you. Was it really that hard because you did it and now you're on TV and watching it, you don't have a ride?
Yeah, it's frustrating. It's especially in some of these series, there's a lot of drivers that probably don't belong here, and it's frustrating showing that I've proven myself and not being out there, but it's tough.
Yeah. I believe it was Warburton who said when he lost his ride, he would sit at home and he would be waiting for a phone call. And, he kind of realized that being in the garage area, maybe with a smaller team, is better than just sitting at home. Did that cross your mind, or, I don't know when this opportunity came up for you, but were you looking at maybe smaller teams just to keep your face in the sport?
Not really. We didn't want to go that direction. It kind of dilutes your stocks and yourself. So, if I get it, the guys that are out there that need to support a family and have an income off of it, that's why they do that. That's why they start a park. But for me, it's just, I love to compete. And, even last year, running, you're racing for top 20s, and that's frustrating for me. I want to be in winning equipment, and I feel like that's what we have here at Red Horse Racing, and it makes it a lot more fun. Like at Kentucky, I told the guys, I was like, man, that felt good. It's been a while since I've been at the top of the board in practice, so it was really cool, and this is a great opportunity.
Do you miss racing for a championship?
No, that's stressful. Yeah. I want to be doing it because that's the big picture. But these races are a lot of fun, because we have one race at a time, and we know we just need to go win this race. So that's our goal.
So is a championship more frustrating or more stressful than being in your position and kind of trying to find a ride out there?
I would say, well, no, I'd rather be racing for a championship than looking for a ride. But with the new chase format, I'd say it's a lot less stressful until that last race of the year if you're in it. The old format where it was points racing all year long, if you have one bad week, then you're stressed out for the next 4 until you dig yourself back out of that hole. So the new chase format, I think, helps that a little bit. Obviously, the pressure's on at Homestead every year, but I think it's better.
Yeah. How did this opportunity come about? You were ready for Kentucky, so how did this happen?
With Matt Tiff being out, the races were open, and we just pulled some sponsorship together to make Kentucky happen, and same thing again this weekend. So it was really, with Matt Tiff being out, the ride was open, and they needed someone to fill it, and it was a really good opportunity for me. So luckily I had the opportunity to, but obviously we're wishing Matt the best, and from talking to him and from hearing his updates, he's doing really well, and hopefully going to be back on track soon.
Yeah. Being in a ride like this, you're filling in for somebody who's going through medical issues. How's that different for you? Because it's not you just found a ride, you're kind of filling in for somebody. How different is that?
It's really the same thing I had with Brian Vickers in the 55 car. So I've been through it once, and it's unfortunate circumstances. You never want to benefit from someone's hard times, but at the same time, he's out and I need to go perform. So it really works out for both of us, because as soon as he's able, he's going to come back, and in the meantime, I'm getting great experience and having a great opportunity.
Right. Do you know, past Pocono, are they telling you like how he's doing and if you can have more races in the future?
No, it's just a one race deal right now. I'd love to go racing more, but at this point, it's just one race. So
at Kentucky, I believe you qualified second. So how did that build your confidence going into the race? Because you were out for a little bit.
Yeah, it was good. We had a really smooth practice, and our car was fast in race trim, and then when we went to qualifying trim, obviously we were second there. So we gave it all we had, that's for sure. We were wide open in qualifying, and we just missed it by a couple thousand. So I was kind of disappointed. I really wanted to get the pole, but second's pretty good too. So.
Yeah. Have you been leading on Timothy Peters?
Yeah, he's been a great teammate. I don't have a lot of truck experience, and so being able to bounce notes off them in the 17 and our truck, and I think it helps both of our teams.
Right. So what's your goal for this race? Obviously, you want to go out and win, but are you looking past that because you want to impress people and everything? So what is your overall goal for this weekend?
It's win. That's our one goal. Top 5, I'd be happy. But we just want to win. So,
do you see any, Xfinity stuff, maybe K&N East, coming back for you? What are you looking at, or is it just whatever comes up?
Really, whatever comes up, whether it's the trucks or Xfinity, or even Cup racing. It's any of the 3. I'd love to be driving. So.
All right. Yeah, definitely appreciate your time.
Yeah, no problem.
Best of luck today.
Thank you.
Thank you.